By popular demand, 5 things that are more expensive in the Philippines. Okay guys, it's Walking Man Walks. I'm back again with another video. By popular demand, I'm going to do this one on 5 things that are more expensive in the Philippines. My last one was on, or last few back, was 10 things that are cheaper in the Philippines. I couldn't really come up with 10 things that are more expensive in the Philippines, but I do have 5 for you. I had a couple requests on the comments to mention some things that are more expensive in the Philippines, so let's get started. I got some notes here. Okay, so number 1 is imported food. If you want any Western food here, I'm talking most dairy, like cheese, butter, cream cheese, that kind of stuff, it's much more expensive. I was actually just at the Robinsons, which is the store, the grocery store where you can get Western style stuff, earlier today. And, you know, a stick of butter, real butter, is about $2. That's probably double or triple what it costs in the US. Cheese is, you know, for a block of cheese, it's about $6, I think. And the cheese here, also the quality is not there like what you can get in the US. And I'm not talking about craft cheese in the US. You know, if you go to the store in the US, you have many choices of cheeses, and there's lots of grating cheeses and blue cheeses and gorgonzolas like I like. I had an Italian grandfather growing up, and he loved gorgonzola, or we used to call it stinky cheese when we were kids. But you know, I acquired a taste for that. I know a lot of people don't like it. I don't even know if you could find that kind of gorgonzola here. Not in Robinsons, maybe somewhere else. So those kind of foods, and then coffee is, you know, coffee is a little more expensive. I wouldn't say it's grossly more expensive, like real coffee, you know, coffee beans or grounds that you make yourself. And even the, you know, the common coffee here that they drink is the same as in South America. It's the coffee that's instant coffee, we call it in the US. And a lot of them here come in packets, and they're already mixed with creamers and like tons of sugar in this little packet of coffee. So I don't really drink those. They're really unhealthy. But the instant coffee is not bad, but it's still about $5 or $6 a pouch. It's not really cheap either, but definitely the imported coffee is a lot more. And they do grow coffee here down the, like by the Tal volcano, you know, where the volcanic soil is, and it's a little higher in elevation, cooler. So they do have coffee regions here, but it's still pretty expensive. So number 1 is imported foods, foods from your own country that you like. You're probably going to pay, you know, more than you would pay in your own country, and definitely like double or triple what you would pay for local foods here. Okay, next on my list is healthcare. Now, healthcare in general is cheaper. If you go to the hospital and you get some stitches or something, it's going to be cheaper. But if you're looking for like exotic healthcare, like LASIK eye surgery and procedures like that, like especially advanced procedures in the Western world, like newer procedures, like I haven't looked into it, but I'm sure like stem cell replacement and that kind of thing is definitely going to cost you more here. And insurance isn't really a thing here, so healthcare is out of pocket. I don't deal with the healthcare system in the US much, and I don't deal with the healthcare system here. I've had to once for myself for an infection, and you know, it costs basically with the antibiotics. So antibiotics is another thing here that I found that is quite expensive. You know, for 1 round of antibiotics, I think it cost me 65,000 pesos for a bottle, which is over 100, not 65,000, sorry, 6,500 pesos, which is, you know, $110 or about $100 right now with the exchange is really good in favor of the dollar. It's a good time. The dollar is strong in the Philippines right now, so it's a good time to spend American dollars here in the Philippines. So good, like healthcare, especially elective procedures, you know, stuff you don't really need but you want. I mean, I haven't looked into like plastic surgery or hair replacement, but I'm sure that is expensive too. So some advanced healthcare stuff is going to cost more, but basically for the most part, just regular healthcare, stitches, you know, infections, that kind of thing, is relatively cheap, but it's all cash. So, okay, the next thing, number 3, the big one is electronics. Electronics are definitely more expensive here. The camera I'm using right now is a Nikon 5200. I bought it here used, Facebook Marketplace where you buy everything used, and I got a reasonable deal on it. But these kind of cameras are definitely going to be more than they cost in the US. And phones, it depends. If you get like some of the more local brands, like out of China, like Huawei, even Samsung is, just from Korea. They're not that much more expensive, but especially like laptops, if you want an American laptop, like a Dell or something like that, you're going to pay HP. Mac, obviously, you're going to pay quite a bit more for those. I just buy my laptops in the US and bring them here with me. And same thing with phones, but you can get a reasonable deal on like a Hawaii Chinese phone, or I think the other one's Otto, OTTO. And, I had a Hawaii once actually that I bought first time I came to Asia, because if you don't know it, cell phones have bands in them. Cell phones have different bands in them, and they're different in Asia than they are in the US. An Asian phone works in the US, and a US banded phone works in Asia, but it's not going to get as good a signal, especially when you get in the mountains. And like my Asian phone, I bought a Samsung International S20 to bring here, and it doesn't work as well as my regular Samsung A51 that I bought in the US just because of those difference in bands. So number 3 is electronics, and number 4 is, I haven't heard many people talk about this, but like personal hygiene products like mouthwash, skincare, shampoo, toothpaste, all that stuff, especially if you have brands you like I like, a certain kind of toothpaste and mouthwash. And actually a mouthwash is only the popular brands you see in the US. There's no like local brands. Same thing with toothpaste, I think, too. But all that stuff's a little more like a bottle of shampoo here. Just ordinary shampoo in the US is $6 or $8 or $10, So yeah, number 4 is personal hygiene products. Those are going to be a little more here. So, I try and bring what I can from the US. I mean, you could get anything here, so it's not that big of a deal if you have to pay a little more. But so 4 is personal hygiene products. And then 5 is the biggie. And I'm actually debating back and forth with some of my commenters about this. It's electric, which they call current here, and utilities. Like I heard from an expat down in the Dumaguete area who he runs his air conditioners all the time and stuff, but he's paying about $300 a month for his electricity bill, which seems kind of insane to me. I don't run my air conditioner all the time. I run it maybe like 15 hours a day. I turn it off in the morning when it's cool out and let the fresh air in and everything. As long as my neighbors aren't burning garbage, then I just leave it on. And I pay, this month I just got here, so it was just my girlfriend using it, and she uses it less than I do even. She's a Filipino, so she doesn't get as hot as I do. I think it was 1,562 pesos. I just paid it the other day. So it's at $30 or something like that. And the highest bill I think I've ever had here in my old place, where it was more of a traditional window style air conditioner, which used more electricity than the split unit I have now. I think the highest I ever paid was $60 for a month. But I'm guessing that there's a different utility company down in the south in Dumaguete, which is quite a ways far away from here, and the electric is much more there. And other utilities like water, my water comes from a well, so I don't pay anything for it. But at my last place, I had a water bill, and the system here is you pay a certain amount up to, I think it was 400 pesos, which is $8, up to like 100 gallons of water, or I can't remember the number. But then anything you use after that, you pay by the gallon. But that, again, I don't think I ever went over the limit of $8 a month. So that's all I ever used. And that was town water, utility water. So that's 5 things to appease some of you guys in my comments who want to hear things that are more expensive. That's 5 things I could think of that are more expensive. If I think of more stuff, maybe I'll make another video. That's 5 things that are more expensive. My next video tomorrow, I'm gonna make a reaction video to a bunch of comments I got about a video I made about Trump being president and if this is the time to become an expat or not. I didn't think I was I didn't really say anything bad about Trump in the video. In fact, I said some good things about him, like he might do with Social Security taxes, but MAGA clapped back hard on my comment section. So I'm going to react to that. The MAGA crew is very thin-skinned if you say anything about Trump, but we'll talk about that on the next video I make tomorrow. Peace. See you then. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Buy me a coffee if you like my videos. That helps me out buying some equipment and stuff. Have a good one.